Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Michael Branch. With more than 1.5 million payments made in a 24-hour period, XRP recently achieved a significant milestone in terms of network activity, breaking a 4-month record. The fact that we're seeing a lot of activity amping up on the XRP ledger, we're going to start to see this reflected in the price of XRP over time. That's why I said I think it's going to be gradual upward movement at first. Then all of a sudden, we're going to start to see major spikes on the price of XRP as more and more banks and more companies start to onboard and utilize this cryptocurrency. This comes from Black Swan Capitalist, and I thought this was a great post. Dollar dominance won't last. The world wants a level playing field where sovereignty matters. XRP is the necessary infrastructure for peaceful transition and coexistence, not conflict. I always said XRP is the trust layer in between two countries that don't trust each other, like China and Russia, China and India. But every single country, the reason that they want their own digital currency is because they all want a level playing field. XRP enables a level playing field. Charles Hoskinson and Hedera's Lehman Baird on how blockchain tech can break into mass adoption. This is a great clip. I like what Charles says about working with the tech providers. Take a listen.
Well, there's these gatekeepers to mass adoption and gatekeepers to the consumerization of technology. We live in a world where 5 companies control the lived experience of 3 billion people. So when you live in that world, you have to ask, well, how do they procure? How do they think? What's the rate at which they change things? And that gives you a good sense of where the market is going to evolve and how you work your way around it. So standards are remarkably important from that lens. And like a great example is the post-quantum crypto. A lot of people saw Microsoft announce that they have topo conductors. Huzzah, yay, we have quantum computers now. Well, I guess we all care about post-quantum signatures. So which one do you pick? Well, the correct answer is whatever NIST tells you to. Because even if you pick something outside of that, all the hardware manufacturers are going to build ASICs into the AMD chips and the NVIDIA chips and these things to accelerate the NIST standards. They'll be 50 times faster than the software-enabled things. So you have to look at the standards bodies, you have to look at the procurement systems and the ebbs and flows of that. And the good news is we're now at a position where we as an industry have a lot of influence over this, and we can partner with these bodies. We work with Microsoft, we work with others. We're a member of the W3C, we worked on DIDs. So you just be there, work with the industry and work with partners outside of the industry, and over time you can get those set. And once they are, they automatically roll their way into procurement. You see them supported in the browser, you see them supported in the Android devices, the iOS devices, and they just become part of the day-to-day experience, and the consumer gets it for free.
How do you get mass adoption? You do it by making the user interface very easy and ideally even invisible.
Like I always said, if you make something easy, people will use it. And I like the fact that Lehman Baird said, you make it invisible. So people are using crypto and not even knowing that they're using it. That's how you onboard the masses into crypto. And I also liked what Charles said, because you got to work with the tech providers if you want your industry to grow. And that's what's going on right now. Everything's getting tied together. All these companies are coming together, but at the same time, they're creating a new financial system as well. And this comes from Alex Cobb. I posted and I talked about Arthur Brito posting after like 14 years of being gone, ever since 2011. And Alex Cobb said this: I agree with this. He's been waiting for a certain something, development, integration with XRP. and he just got confirmation that it's on the way. That's the vibe I'm getting. XRP Junkie said, he's saying we're there, home stretch. So nobody really knows what's going on with Arthur Brittle right now. But the fact that he came out of, after all these years, I think something big for XRP is about to drop. And I don't think I'm speculating either. That's my honest thoughts on that. I really do believe something big is coming. This comes from the Crypto Basic. Delaying Ripple and SEC final decision into late 2026 is not on the cards. So Bill Morgan dismissed recent speculation that the lawsuit between the U.S., SEC, and Ripple could stretch into late 2026. Listen, that case is going to wrap up when nobody sees it coming. When everybody least expects it, that's when it's going to happen. We're not going to get a date for it to happen. I keep seeing people saying, well, it was August 15th. I'm thinking more like November or possibly even December now. Other people are saying it's going to go into next year. Listen, this judge, I'm sure she has had enough with this case already as well. I think she's going to make a decision. The market's going to take off even before the news drops on X. That's what I see coming. This comes from Smoke, the great switch. Companies and banks adopting blockchain. That's what's going on right now. But the companies are not going to wait on the banks. The companies will seek out a better solution with or without the banks. He also posted this, the beginning of a great collaboration. The convergence of crypto and traditional finance is underway. This is happening in real time, and it's documented. Like I've been telling you this entire time, everything that we had vision for, it's happening right now. Everything you see, it's all part of the new financial system eventually going live. The fact that the banks got the green light to get involved with crypto, that was the first indicator. Now you're seeing the Fed even push crypto onto the banks. The Fed's telling them, you got to get involved with this. You can't be lagging behind, because as long as the banks keep lagging behind, better and better options are going to emerge, taking business away from the banks. So either the banks get on board or the banks get left behind. There's a few that we believe will outperform Bitcoin this year, such as XRP. This comes from the CEO of Canary Funds. Take a listen.
You know, anything that's at or not everything, but most things that are top 20 we're constructive on. We're very constructive on Bitcoin, but there's a few that we believe that will outperform Bitcoin this year, such as XRP, SWI, and even Sol. More constructive on some of the larger cap cryptocurrencies like SUI and Solano and XRP, even Litecoin and HBAR. I think are going to be have a really good possibilities of making it.
So, are you comfortable saying pretty much all of those will have 10% upside?
Oh, I think most of these will double this year.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to 120, this is what I'm saying. So it's good to hear. So you think these could double in the 12 months or so?
Yeah. Think of Bitcoin like the Dow. It's a little bit boring, but it's going to be a lot safer.
Right.
And it's what you move into if you want to stay in crypto, but have a flight to safety. But some of these other ones are going to have a lot more upside in bull runs.
And that's what I've been saying as well. XRP is already outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum time and time again. And he's not the only one saying it. Tukrium CEO is saying the same thing. Take a listen.
Will it have more upside than Bitcoin? A lot of people say yes. I think that the use case for XRP as it builds, that's the thing about it. It actually has a use case. It has a use. And so we don't make price predictions here, but I do think that in terms of the very long-term outlook and the tokenization of everything as that comes down, given that XRP is a useful token, I think that XRP has the potential for some very good upside. Now, again, it's a volatile fund. It's a 2X. There's a lot of risk, so people need to be careful when they trade it. But XRP is another interesting token, and we think it's very useful, and there's obviously an appeal to the investors.
It has an actual use case. Bitcoin has no use case. You buy it and you hope it holds up as a store of value. The problem is that I don't know if these people live in denial or what, but every cycle, once Bitcoin tops out, it comes crashing down. It is absolutely going to come crashing down again. The narrative that they're pushing now is that it's up only. How the hell is something without a use case up only in a world where everything relies on a use case? The new financial system relies on moving money from point A to point B. What does XRP do? It works as a bridge currency, moving anything of value from point A to point B. But it's not just going to be XRP. It's going to be HBAR. It's going to be XLM, XDC, and so on. These cryptocurrencies are not just going to double in value. Most of them are going to do a 10x plus. You know, conservatively, I would say XRP reaches $20. Being conservative, Moonboy predictions, most likely $100 plus. Because now, even some of the most conservative people out there are still saying that it could possibly do $50 plus. These are the same people that just a few months ago were saying XRP is going to $13. Now they're saying $50 plus. And I think it's because we see all the catalysts for this cryptocurrency now. So if all those catalysts play out ahead of alt season, we are going very high on the price of XRP. This comes from the Crypto Basic. Incoming product to put billions of dollars of XRP to work. Flare CEO Hugo Filion. He says, I spent much of last week in the United States with the Firelight team. This project is hugely innovative and has the potential to put billions, if not tens of billions, of XRP to work on Flare. Now think about it like this. Flare's opening up passive income for XRP holders. And people are going to be locking away their XRP. They're not going to be selling their XRP. They're going to be getting passive income from it. So as less and less people are selling their XRP with passive income, what do you think happens? All of a sudden, all you have is buyers, demand, and scarcity happening at the same time. Because now we also have companies creating treasuries and reserves at the same time. And I think we're only at the beginning of that. Wait until you start seeing some of these bigger companies creating treasuries and reserves. I mean, Meta, their biggest problem is cross-border payments. So what else would you hold other than XRP? Because XRP is the king of cross-border payments. So imagine Meta creating a massive treasury of XRP or a reserve. That's what I see coming for all of these companies. And maybe it's not just XRP. Maybe they want to hold some HBAR or some XLM or some XDC, because there's going to be so many different options around all of these cryptocurrencies. There's going to be passive income options. You're going to be able to borrow against it. You're going to be able to loan it out. You're going to have all types of yield coming. And people are still focused on this run. This is going to be so much bigger over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. Most likely, it's not even 24 months away anymore. I would say over the next 20 months. Things are going to change very fast. We're going to have regulations in place. ISO is going to be in full swing. I'm still expecting a lot of value to come from that over time. What I'm telling you is we are only at the beginning still. Everything that's coming is not only bullish, but it puts you on the path to financial freedom. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.